YouTube, what's happening? It is Tuesday, October 1st, and the MLB playoffs are starting today. Technically, they started yesterday, let's be honest, because the play-in wild card was basically playoff. So, but we're to the real playoffs today. So, we have 4 games today. You can see them on the screen. You can see how they do. They are spread out, thankfully. They're not all on the same time. Football would never, I swear. So you got all the games here. We're going to break all these games down. We're going to look at the spreads, the totals, the money line. We're going to look at props. We're going to look at pitcher props. We're going to look at batter props. Yeah, we're going right back to what we used to go to before things got weird and teams started giving up. So we're going back to full-on breakdowns. There's only 4 games. This video shouldn't be too long. I'm going to try not to make it too long, but hey, there's stats. We're going to go over them because I want you to have the best possible information to make the best possible decision, because that's what we do in betting. We make decisions based on stats, and the more stats, the better. So we got 4 games. Let's jump to that first game right now. Game 1, we got Detroit and Houston. We can see that Houston is 148 on the money line. The total is 6.5 in this one because we got 2 absolute studs out there pitching. It's the first game of the playoffs, obviously. Let's look at who we got. Pop on over to the numbers first. We can see the numbers. Detroit came in losing the last 2. Houston won their last 2. Nerfy is 58% throughout the whole damn season. Offensively, Detroit hasn't been the best in the last handful of games, or the last 2 weeks, just the whole season, really, let's be honest. And then Houston has been a little bit better on both the bats. So, strikeouts, neither team has been striking out that much. Houston is 22nd, but I mean, come on. So, let's look at some pitchers. Let's dig a little deeper into that. So, schedule, we got Scooby going out there. Scooble 18-4, tied for first, 239.92, just nasty numbers. Going up, you can see what he has done. Let's scroll down so we can see some of his games. Last few games, 0-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-1-2, just beasts. And has he faced Houston at all this year is a question I'm going to ask for every pitcher. Have you faced him this year? You did. You faced him on 6-14, 6.1, 6-4, 2 strikeouts. Okay. So Houston teed off on him a little bit earlier in the season. They faced him again, 6.1, 7 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 7 Ks. This one was better on May 11th. Okay. And that's the only 2 times he faced him this year. So, 2 meetings, one was decent and one was not great. So he hasn't had just a beast outing yet. Interesting. Let's go to Mr. Valdez. We can see what he has done. Look at his numbers. 15-7, 2.9, 1.1. Pretty good numbers too. You can see what he's been doing. Let's see if he has faced Detroit at all this year, because now I kind of care about the whole year because I want to see what you've done. There you go. 7. You got 7 innings on May 10th, 6-2, only 4 strikeouts. So a pretty decent game. We'll say decent. 2, only giving up 2 is decent. And that is literally the only time you faced him this year. So, and based on what you've done recently, your numbers have been pretty good. Yeah, both pitchers are good. We know this. Hence the under 6.5 is definitely might be a play. Let's look over at props. Let's dig deep. Dig deep. So first off, we got Scoobs. Let's look at the history. We want to see all this stuff. Against history, there we go. We can see what they've done. You can see 364 for Altuve and 11 at bats with a home run and a 1.28. That's notable. 333 over 9 is notable. 429 over 7 with a home run for Pena is notable. 2 for 10 is notable for Jordan. Not the best numbers. So we want to see how they do against lefties all year. Here's your numbers for lefties. Some are good. Like Altuve bats 370 against lefty this year. Damn. 306 for Pena, 362 for Jordan, but not that good against Scoobs. So, okay, there's those numbers. Let's look at some props for him real quick. Earned runs. You can see he's a beast, obviously. Strikeouts. Your number's at 5.5. Why? Why is the number so damn low? That feels low. 2024, he's gone over that number 90% of the time. Let me guess. Yep, one of the 3 Reds is Houston. Yeah, one of the 3 Reds is Houston. 7-2. I almost have to take it just because it's Scooble. Why not? That's, yeah. We're taking over 5.5 Ks. If he doesn't show up, he's gonna get ran out the stadium. That's just my feeling. That's just, yeah. We're taking Scooble over 5.5 Ks. We're gonna have a lot of plays. We're back to making a lot of plays. We're gonna pepper the board in this one. Let's look at hits. There we go. Here's your hits. Ooh, 4.5. So you don't expect him to get many strikeouts, but you don't expect him to give a lot of hits. but your earned run set at 1.5. So how's you just going to get a lot of ground balls? Like, Houston's not that great. They're 22nd in strikeouts right now. I ain't feeling that, bruh. Let's look over at Valdez. Let's see what Valdez got going on. History for them versus them. Let's see, 286 and 14 at bats for Ibanez, no home runs. 286 from 14 at bats for Torkelson. 273. The numbers are green compared to their season average, but they're just not as good as Houston. Huh. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. And let's see how Detroit does against lefties. We got 292. You don't play. 305. Not good. Definitely not good. 213. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know Scooble's pitching, but I'm leaning Houston in this one just based on everything I've seen so far. Earned runs, there's your numbers. Strikeouts have gone down head to head. These last year, this is this year. For the whole year, 39% on strikeouts, so I'm not taking that. Dude's burned me on like 2 other strikeout bets I could think of off the top of my head. Hits, walks, and outs. Yeah, I'm not feeling any of that. So, and lastly, I said we're going to do it. Let's go to the bats. Let's look. So for the bats, I have walks, I have HRR, I have home runs, and I have stolen bases as the 4 things I look at. Bases, they're always like minus 200, so I don't put those on here. So, so you could, if you want to, you can get you some outlier for a free week. Get you a week. Link in the description. There you go. So we can see who's done. I like to look at the last 10. I want green. That's what I want. So we got Dumont, we got Vierling, Contoni, and Sweeney. I'm not taking any of that. So not with these 2 pitchers. So bats are going to be kind of not good on the first day of a series. So let's pop back over here. Okay, so we see I'm taking Scooble over 5.5 Ks because that seems so low to me. Something's up. Something's up. Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they miss, but I'll take it. Based on these numbers, I lean Houston because of the offense. I lean Scooble to get strikeouts, but I lean Houston to win. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to give, the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to give you a lean of either a money line or a total, and I'm going to give you a prop for every game. Just like I did in football, I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to take Houston money line, but I'm going to get Scooble to get 5.5 strikeouts because I do not trust the Detroit bats. There you go. Next game. All right, game 2. We got Kansas City and Baltimore at 4:08 Eastern. We can see Baltimore is 146, and for the money line, and total is again 6.5. Super low totals in the playoffs, I swear, because we have the stars pitching for each team. Makes sense. Let's look over at the bats. Let's see what they're up to. Yeah, KC fell Bass Ackworth into the playoffs. That's right. I said that right. Their offense has been absolutely miserable. Now, either 2 things are going to happen because we see this all the time in baseball. You have the team that is down here, just in the gutter, in this just trash offense. All of a sudden, one game they drop 15 runs. They do it all the time. Or they just stay down here for a while, and eventually they pop up. It's going to pop up eventually because you just don't hang down here and not pop. You always pop. You never do this. You just do this. It's how it works every single time. This is how it does it. So, Casey's offense is terrible. Baltimore's offense has been cooking recently. In the last 2 weeks, they've been doing great. So both teams striking out probably a little too much, especially Kansas City. They're swinging and missing everything. I said it like a week ago. It's like Kansas City didn't want to be in the playoffs. So until you show me you want to be here, because they got wins over Washington, who was probably the worst team in the last 30 days. So because they've been eliminated, they just didn't care. So yeah, it's already leaning Baltimore. So let's look at the pitchers. Let's go over here. We got Cole Reagans, 11-9, 314. Got some Pi ERA, 223. Okay. Let's look at the records. Have you faced Baltimore? So you go 0-1-2-0. Rough game against Houston. Rough game against the Angels. Okay. Have you faced Baltimore at all this year? You have. Oh, twice. You got absolutely destroyed by Baltimore on 420. They smoked you. They smoked you good. 1.2, 9, and 7 for sure. And before that, you had a great game. 6.1, 1 hit. So you've had the complete ends of the spectrums. You had an amazing game, and then they kicked your ass. So, I mean, that doesn't help us at all. That doesn't help us at all for real. Burns, 15-9, 292, 110. Let's look at your stuff. 1-0-0-2-1. You've been cooking. You had a couple games where you're like, oh, not the best. Let's see. Have you faced KC? It's odd to go a whole season off. There we go. 5.2, 4 and 3 or 4 strikeouts, and then 5.2, 9 hits, 2. So you had 2 average games. So we have one consistent pitcher and one all over the spectrum pitcher. So okay, that's just, yeah, that's fun. We gotta keep digging. Gotta keep digging. So let's dig deeper. First place we're gonna go is Reagan's. We're gonna look at your history and what you've done. So we can see the numbers here. Who's done what? Not many at bats we see, not that many. So 333, 667, some zeros, 500, no home runs out there. So not the best. Against lefties, we see how Baltimore does this year. It's not been good. They do better against righties. So we have 1, 2, 300s. Everybody else is below. So that's good news for Kansas City. So, yeah. Okay, let's look. Earned runs. We can see where they are. Not the best. Head to head, 0 and 7. I mean, obviously, for the whole season, we'll just do the whole season. That way we can see really what you've been up to all year. Strikeouts. Your number is at 5.5. Head to head, you got 7 and 4 against Baltimore, who's 22nd in strikeouts right now. Okay. We can see the number here. Whole year, 78% of the time you hit this number. You're going against a team that struck out 22. This might be a good play. This might be a good play if you don't get rocked. If you get rocked, it's a terrible play. So let's keep moving. Hits. It's going to be hard to really pick one of these because the dude had 2 extremes on the game. So we don't know what we're going to get out of him. So it makes it a little hard. 16 and a half outs. And you went over so many times. Outs might be a play. But again, if you trust him, you got some good plays. If you don't trust him, a gambler. So let's move on. Let's move over to Burns, Mr. All-Star Starter. Let's see what he's got going on. We roll down a little bit so you can see. 500, 318 and 22 for him with 2 homers and a 9. Okay, there's a little bit of a noteworthy line. Let's see, 238 now, 0, 0, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. Not the best number. So this is the only good one. Well, Perez, 500 over 12 with a home run. That's okay too. Yeah, 6 out of 12. That's pretty good stuff. All right, and how they do against righties, they do better, but this is counting the whole season. So they have been dog shit the last couple weeks. So now what if they were just playing coy, just like, oh, we don't care, and also now we care? I mean, I think I'm gonna pay to see it because I'm probably taking Baltimore. That's the feeling I'm getting. Earned runs, strikeouts. Yeah, let's go the whole season, head to head. Make sure we look at both of these. Yeah. No, hits, walks, outs. What's your strikeouts? 4.5 head to head. You played them twice, never got above it. KC is one of the best strikeout teams, except for recently, because they have been garbage here recently, and they're normally top 2 when it comes to strikeouts. Them in San Diego, you don't want to take strikeout props against. So let's look. I am going to leave this alone. I think hits once. I'm trying. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to bats. I'm not liking this. Oh, bats. A lot of bat. Okay. Urias over half hit. Mullins. Cowser. I think Cowser might be the play for HRR and Gunner. Okay. Gunner HRR has not been great recently. In the last okay. Well, if I want to take someone, it's going to be Urias, but his 180. These numbers are crazy. That's so high. That's so high. What else we got? Anything down here that might be fun? A little bit better odds? I mean, come on, something. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take Baltimore on the money line. That's just, we got to do that. Baltimore money line. But then we're also going to take a prop. And I said I will give you a prop. And I'm not going to lie to you. I will make sure you have a prop. I'm going to take, if you gun ahead, I wouldn't take nothing. I wouldn't take any of these props. Let me tell you right now, I don't like the props at all. But I said I'm going to take something. So let's go back to the numbers. And looking at the numbers, let's just be smart here. I looked at this for a few minutes. I thought about it. And I say, you know what we're going to do? We are going to take the Stars. It is the playoff time. If the Stars don't show up, they have no shot. So I'm going to kind of hedge my own bet. I'm already taking Baltimore money line. So I'm also going to take the man, the myth himself. I'm going to take Mr. Bobby Witt to get over 1.5 HRR, because if Casey's going to break out, he's the one who's going to break them out, I believe. So if I'm going to take him for that. The numbers aren't that bad. So we'll do that. Pair it with Baltimore money line and move on to that next game. All right, game 3, we got the Mets and the Brewers at 5:32 Eastern. Fun little time there. We can see the Brew Crew is 142 on the favorites, 7.5 total here. Let's pop over to some bot information. We can see what they've been up to. both lost their last game. The Mets lost in collusion. That's exactly what it was. Them and the Braves had a handshake agreement. They both get in the playoffs. I know what they did. It's obvious. They celebrated on the field together. What the hell was that? Rivals my ass. Okay. Let me fix this typo real quick. Bang, fixed. Looks better. Okay. So we can see the Mets have been not the best when it comes to offense in the last game, but it was the last game. Last 3 games, they've been decent on offense, but the trend line is a trend line. Milwaukee, again, Milwaukee kind of just chilled out the last week because they locked everything up. They didn't even move their position. They swung and missed at everything. So, yeah, it's hard to take some of these numbers literal right now with the whole last week of baseball doing its thing because Milwaukee didn't have a meaningful game for a week. So, let's look at the pitchers. Let's see what we got. Oh, now you also have the thing. Do we fade the teams that played a doubleheader yesterday? Because they didn't technically play the second game hard. They weren't trying hard. That first game was awesome. It was a great first game all over the place. The starters did their job, and all of a sudden the bullpens are trash, and it's all of a sudden it's like 1,000 to 1,000. So, yeah. Second game here, yeah. So let's see what's happening. So he is 11-7, 391, 124. Not bad, not good, not bad. Okay, let's see. Your last game was Atlanta. You put 4 innings and Atlanta got you. When was the last time you played Milwaukee? That's what we care about. Milwaukee, Milwaukee, Milwaukee. Where's a Brewer logo? Give me the Brewers. First game of the season, you gave up 11 hits, 3 earned runs, and got 6 Ks. And that was literally your first game of the season. Outside of that, you have not played Milwaukee since. Your numbers have not, they've been kind of over the place. They've been okay to great to okay. Okay. So I've seen what I need to see. And you're going up against Peralta. Peralta is the first one. Let's see, have you faced, well, first off, your numbers they've been pretty good too. So I would lean your number slightly over Severino's, slightly. So, let's see. Have you faced the Mets at all this year? I'm going to guess week 1 or game 1. Yeah, there it is. 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 home run, 8 Ks. Yeah, you beasted the Mets the one time you faced them. So, yeah, I lean Peralta in this one. I lean the bats from Milwaukee slightly just because they've been rested. They have had to try. They didn't play a doubleheader yesterday. All those things. So, let's pop over here. So far, I'm taking the Mets on the main line. And I don't know the props yet because we just got here. So let's look at Severino. Let's look at what you've been up to. Severino. Let's look at some history. Oh, let's see. We got a 364 for him with a home run. 333, 500. Yeah, not many at bats though. I mean, this is the main one. Yeah, and if I'm taking probably going to take him on an HRR prop too because I like those stats. Let's look at your. Oh, how are you against righties is the question. Milwaukee against righties. 2-6, 2-6, 2-2, 2-7, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Nothing over the 3s though. Okay. Couple in the 1s and a bunch of mid to high 2s. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Strikeouts. Milwaukee has been last in strikeouts here recently. And for the whole season, your number's 2. Oh, this is earned runs. Ha! Strikeouts. 4.5, and you've gone over this number 61% this year. Okay. Head to head. Last year, 5. This year, 6. Okay. Decent numbers for earned runs. Not feeling that. Hits, walks, outs. I'm not liking any of that. Let's pop over here to Mr. Peralta. Let's look at Peralta's numbers. Peralta versus the Mets history. A lot of red. 0, 1, and 6 at bats. 0 and 5. Over 5. 1 for 6. 222 with 18 at bats for Bader with only 1 home run. 250 for 12 for Marte with a 1 home run. 333, 18 at bats, 2 home runs for Winkler. Okay, that's random. All right. How are the Mets versus righties? The Mets love lefties all season. All of a sudden, they're becoming more of a split team, which, okay, you evolve over the season. That makes sense. Again, 300, 292, decent numbers all around. I can't complain. Strikeouts. Mets are 11th in the last 3 games, 12 in the last 2 weeks. And it's all over the place. I can't take that. No, I need somebody who's like a strikeout beast if I'm taking a strikeout prop. So like a Scooble. That's what I'm taking. Yeah, I'm not taking any of these. I don't like this. All right, so let's go to the bats. Hoskins, over half HRR, is 100% in the last 5, 80 in the last 10, 70 in the last 20. Yeah, if you want to pay 185, sure. I said I'm going to take... Where is he at? Right now, I don't care about the last 10 because the last 10 you were kind of like, there you are. You've been dog shit the last few games, which is good for the odds. I want the odds to come down, but you have good history versus the pitcher. So I shall take you. And yeah, I always butcher this man's last name. Adamus, I think is how they say it. I've been calling him Adams a lot. I just see him like, oh, Adams. No, it's like Adamus. And I keep butchering it hard. So whatever. Milwaukee money line. And then we're going to take this over 1.5 HRR because I think the odds are going to be better. 105, I like that. That's good. That's just a straight bet. 110, I love that. So we'll do that. Pair it with Milwaukee money line and go to the next game. All right, game 4 is the Braves and the Padres. It is at 8:38 Eastern. It's a fun little matchup because the Braves have not announced their starter. Everyone and mama thought it was going to be Chris Sale, but they already announced last night that Chris Sale is probably not going to be in this whole series because of back spasms, I believe it was. So it's not decided who's pitching yet. So, and if you don't believe me, let me show you. There it is. Undecided versus Michael King. That's not good. You need to know who's pitching. I'm sure they know this ain't total shit. So let's just, we'll assume, we'll just assume it's the second best pitcher, whoever that is on the team. Let's just go ahead and just dig into a little bit and see who's on their damn depth chart. Who is the second best pitcher on the Braves? Depth chart. Let's see. It's Schwellenbach just pitched, so I'm assuming it's going to be him or him. It's got to be one of those two, right? I'm assuming it's him. So I don't know when they last played. Okay. I'm not digging that deep into it, so you can see who it could be. So there's some stuff. So let's go back here. All right, so we can see the odds. San Diego 165. Atlanta played a doubleheader yesterday, so and even though the second game wasn't much effort, it's still they won. So 7's your total. Let's look at the bats. These numbers, like again, are kind of hard to judge because which teams have been trying. San Diego tried for a good bit, then they locked in the wild card in the last couple games. You can see downtrend. Like, okay. So Atlanta got in barely thanks to the Mets being nice, basically. Okay, cool. You see those numbers. Let's look at the one pitcher. We got Michael King, 13-9, 295, 119. And let's see, your numbers have been pretty good. Have you faced the Braves any time this year? You have not faced the Braves, which is good for him because anytime the batter and pitchers face a second time, the hitters have a slight advantage because they've seen the pitches. It's common sense, but he has not faced, so that's good for him. So, and your numbers have been good. Let's pop over to the props. Let's see. We'll look at your prop because that's all we have. So let's open it up. Michael King. Let's see. History against the damn. I mean, yeah, the Braves' history against Michael King is not good outside of one guy. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, given it's 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. 0 for 8 for Soler. 375 for Merrifield. Hey, at least somebody's doing good. These two just cancel each other out. It's just, yeah, okay. Against righties. Now, remember, the Braves have been bottom 10 in offense most of the damn year. So it's going to be, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we see that. Let's look at the props. Earn runs, 1.5. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. 1.5 is your number? Yeah. Let's look. Let's see. This is strikeouts, 5.5 against the Braves, who were 13th in strikeouts recently, 14th over the last 2 weeks. How have you done all year? You've gone over this number 70% of the time. I don't know if I like that. The Braves don't really strike out that much. They're not good at getting on base or hitting the ball, but they don't strike out much. So hits, you're all over the damn place. Walks, okay, and outs. There you go. There's your numbers. Let's look at the bats. It's gonna be a bat prop I like. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. There's not the best looking ones. So I wish I knew who was pitching for. Is there a way? Maybe. Yeah. No one knows. Nothing showed up yet. Okay. I don't really want to. So I want to take a Merrifield bat prop. I might do it. just to do it. Are you on this list anywhere? Like close? Like I don't know. Yeah, Harris has been balling out a little bit here recently. Tatis, let's just pick the star. Who do I want to just hope and just like, yeah, you're the one I want to go with. Let's see. You know what? Let's go with Tatis. He's struggled a little bit, but you know what? Why not? Why the hell not? Because we're taking San Diego money line. That's for sure. Tatis over 1.5 HR. We're just going to root for Tatis just because. It's there. I don't trust the Braves against King because you saw what King has done to the Braves. Uh, Actually, no, not Tatis. We're gonna go with the rookie. That's what we're going. We're going with Jackson Merrill. That's what we're going with. Yep, over 1.5 HR. That feels better. Let's root for the rookie. All right, Jackson, you got it. Yeah, there we go. I almost want to go back to Milwaukee and change that to Jackson too, just to do both. All right, that's it. This one. All right, San Diego money line, Jackson Merrill over 1.5 HR. That's it. All right, that's it. All 4 games broken down, so the best we can. Atlanta will eventually announce a pitcher because they're still undecided. Obviously, when they do, you have this information to make the best choice you can. I appreciate you watching. We have games. I have 4 plays. I have 4 money lines and 4 props. Like I said, I was going to give you 1 of each for each game. That way you have something. You don't have to take everything I play. I just give out what I'm playing. And I told you some of these I probably wouldn't take because but you're making me take it, I'm going to take it. It's a playoffs. We got to root for something, right? So, for the money line, Houston, Baltimore, Milwaukee, San Diego. I think that's all home teams. I think it is. Yeah, I'm going to parlay those 4. That's going to be a money line parlay. So we're going to have 5 total plays, money line parlay and the 4 props. So we'll go with that. Drop in the comments what you're playing. Let me know if I missed anything because sometimes I miss things. I overlook things. It happens. So if I missed a clear and obvious stat or somebody's not playing, tell me. I appreciate those things. So, but don't be an ass about it. Just tell me. So, because there's a lot of stuff going on. So I appreciate you being here and we will see you tomorrow for more baseball. Peace.